Welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Cush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. All right, guys, welcome. We've done it. Welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I am Dr. Cush. We are here tonight. We are getting our, I was informed of something. Good morning, Ernie, by the way. I was informed of something. I thought that I was teaching classes. I thought that I was putting on a little internet show for you guys. It turns out there is a name for what I do, and that is podcasting. So I am currently podcasting directly into your houses or sometimes your cars. Please remember, don't drink and watch the show. And drive. Drink and watch the show. Don't drive with it. So put a little fire under old Dr. Cush's rear end, and we are going to start to reach out to more and more podcasters. I have reached out to a fabulous podcaster, the host of Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Full name. All right, so write the whole thing down and put the at symbol in there as well. We have Jessie OTT coming onto the show. We're going to talk about the state of booze. We're going to talk about her journey on how she got here. We are raiding her liquor cabinet. At some point, we're going to make a cocktail. But more importantly, I feel like we are just going to Ouroboros this entire podcast thing and find interesting people within the space to chat to. So we'll bring her on in just a second. Let me first of all say hello to all of the people, to some of the people. I'm going to say hi to all of you. I'll try. Let me say hello, first of all, to our good friend, Shawnee Pannebaker. Good evening, Shawnee Pannebaker. What a pleasure to have you. Moose. Greetings to Cush and Jessie. Hey, Moose, it's the polite thing to do. Say hello to the guests as well. You're doing great, man. Amy Beer is here. Hello, Sean and Moose. Amy. Got to say hi to Jessie. Tiki Court is here. Good to see you, Tiki Court. As always, a pleasure, never a chore. Davey Virtue, our 2,000th subscriber. We are now at, oh God, don't make me remember this, 2,470 something. Davey, you're getting blown out of the water, pal. I'm going to need you to subscribe again. I figured that out. Bootopia is here. Paul Bell Amaro, ready to go. My old college roommate, Derek Handley. Derek! We're not in mourning today, watching Illinois beat USC. I'm sad. Loriander is here. Good to see you, Loriander, coming to us from Scandinavia. Oh, what a place. Denmark, I think. Gosh, don't make me remember. Another Scandinavian. Is Sweden Scandinavia? Don't make me know that either. Motu Jen is here. Good to see you, Motu Jen. We got a lot of people in here. Too many to say hello to. Let me say then instead hello to my guest. My guest tonight is Jessie OTT. Now, Jessie is a podcaster, but not only that, she is deep. She has gone way undercover into the liquor industry. She is somebody that knows trends. She knows, I've watched multiple of her podcasts recently. She talks about numbers. Imagine something like that, about trends and economics and all that stuff. We're going to figure out, are we in some trouble? We're going to figure out that from Jessie. She hosts a podcast called Thursday at 3 p.m. EST. Find her on, I think we'll ask her, but I think just about everywhere you can do a podcast. Let's bring her on. This is Jessie, everybody. Jessie, how are you?
Hi, everybody.
Jessie, how was the intro? Did I forget anything?
No, you did wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Cush.
Gosh,
that was
so
amazing.
Jessie. Yeah. I guess the first thing I have to ask you is, how did you end up, not on this show, but how did you end up where you're at? Where did you start?
Well, I was working for a tech company and I don't like sales. So I was trying to think of what is another medium where I can actually connect with people or share files or share information that's not directly, related to the product, but it's related to the industry and have guests on that, are kind of experts around this type of technology. And I started the podcast, but before my first episode was released, I was dismissed from that company, which was fine. It wasn't my thing, and I stuck with Thursdays every single week, and it kind of took this life on its own. I've had some amazing guests that I'm super proud of, and it's just been a whirlwind of fun ever since. Like I learned so much from people on this podcast.
I love that. Why booze? Can I ask? Just if
Oh,
I can set up the question even a little better.
go back that far.
Yeah, if I can set up the kids aren't drinking. THC is taking over booze. Diageo can't decide whether tequila is tequila. Tito's isn't with Young's anymore. COVID killed the bars. The tariffs are killing the whiskey and wine industry. Yeah, why booze?
Well, it used to be very stable.
It did.
You know,
Yeah.
people drank when it was good times, bad times. It didn't matter. They switched up, they switched down. It didn't matter. But in about 5 years ago, and with COVID for sure, as a catalyst to this, because people weren't sitting home just hanging out. They were actually creating businesses because what else could they do? They were unemployed or they couldn't go to work. They couldn't do something. So they said, well, let's just experiment. We're at home in the kitchen. And I think that created a lot of different brands that we're experiencing in the marketplace today. But you threw in a lot of things
Yeah. So
there.
I think my main thing, you as an industry insider, somebody that has sort of worked your way through. I know that you went through the WSET. You're a level 3. If you guys don't know that,
Yeah.
that is a very prestigious wine course. With a big aspect in blind tasting and knowing your regions. You clearly have a background in this. You then went into the analytics. I think most of all, my question. Oh, Jesse is a lot louder than Cush. Let me just fix that. My question, Jesse, is going to be: Are we okay? Is booze okay?
Yeah. Yes, of course. I think there's going to be ebbs and flows, and I think that the dynamics of different generations change, with the exception of X. We as Generation X just kind of did what our parents did.
Yeah.
You got the millennials that started rebooking every system there were, and then on and on and on and on. And I think that's a good thing. I think it's good, and I think especially with these younger kids seeing the effects of AI in their lives and all the fake stuff, I think that the storytelling and the reality of business owners and why they created a brand and why they're doing this and that is going to become more and more and more, even more important than it is today. And yes, booze isn't going anywhere. It's not. We're okay. It's going to ebb and flow, and it's probably not going to be the same, because you're gonna see non-alcoholics go like this. You're gonna see the THC and CBD still go like this, but we still have people that want to have cocktails and drinks. And I don't know about where you are in the restaurant scene here, but it's busy here.
Yeah.
Like and it's not slowing down. You know, you got to get reservations if you want to go have dinner,
Yeah. I mean
and
that.
that includes cocktails. That includes, glass of wine, whatever it might be.
Yeah, lucky for me, I only have 2 little seats right here, and my reservation. I have those both reserved out for the rest of our lives. Yeah, I left the restaurant industry after COVID.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that it was going to. There's a theory that basically we're sort of losing the middle ground, right? Like it's going sort of either super high end or it's going into a lot of chains. I'm just not seeing. I worked for all independent bars for a long
Okay.
time, and I'm just
Yeah.
seeing all of my buddies that worked at those places having a really hard time finding stable work. Bars are closing.
Yeah.
Um, it's a rough we're just having a rough go of it.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going through some cycles, that are we'll get through. I think it's super important for restaurants. Like we had one close here, it was overpriced for what it was. Like you got to just be really careful that demographic in that neighborhood is going to be able to go spend 50 to 60 bucks a person on dinner
Yeah,
in an environment like this.
yeah,
It just that's really difficult. You can only have so many of those in a certain community, and I'm not saying that about bars. I'm saying about the speakeasy. It was really nice, and it didn't last a year.
yeah.
You know, and I think it's just ever important to do all the research that you need to do in order to make sure that you can be sustainable. And I think you gotta listen to the clientele a lot more than you ever had to do. You don't just open something up because you think it's going to be because it's something you want to do.
Right.
You gotta really make sure that that neighborhood is going to support that concept.
And that's what you do. I mean, more or less. Sorry, Jesse. I feel like I maybe jumped the gun a little bit here. Can you explain to us exactly what it is you do? I think I gave a brief overview, but I mentioned
Right.
numbers. I feel like that's
Yeah.
about as much as I
Well,
understood about what you do.
right. Yeah. The podcast in terms of numbers, I always like to start off with the state of the economy. And then a little bit about the tariffs, but they just move so much that it's just a snapshot in time. And then after I started the podcast, I started creating my CrossRoads Solutions Hub, which is for small companies that have sales in different markets and promotions in different markets and finances and operations. And we throw it in our hub and we create dashboards for them. And so that's really the analytics. I have some subscription to some data and whatnot that I get. That's really important for that business. And then I accidentally started an export business this year. It was completely unintentional. I just
Whoops.
wanted to learn a little bit about it. And then he's
Yeah.
like, "Hey, you want to be a managing partner?" And I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
So we've been doing that. And that's been a lot of fun. And um, and then I have a small sales uh like company where I call on the military, and that's really more passionate for me. I love the veterans, and so I take pride in our veteran, or we call it our hero brands, because one of them, which is one of the brands I have today, he's worked for the CIA, helped bring Osama bin Laden down, and then some other brands that may not have served, but they served in a capacity, or their family served, or they're helping serve now, and so I'm really proud about that. That's like something I'm very passionate about. And my father and all my in-laws were in some type of service, so
Yeah.
it's very important.
So you did you start off as a bartender? Did you start off in were you a bar back? Were you how did you get in? Like
Yeah.
I'm always so
Well, if you
interested because I have I have a history in comparative literature and theater. But I found bartending and just fell deeply in love with it. I'm always just so
yes.
interested to hear like how people even found the liquor industry.
Well, if you consider, beer, soda, and maybe a couple of mixed cocktails in a country club with like 200 members
I'll count
in
it.
a small town of 1,000 people,
I will count
being
it.
a bartender, I started there.
I love it.
I don't really count that. Um, no, I went to New York City and I was looking for a job that matched, that because New York City at the time was finance and fashion and all the things that I wasn't really that interested in. And it just so happened I got a job with Remy Cointreau, and that's kind of what catapulted my job in marketing and as a business analyst for the national account team, the team that calls on Chili's and Fridays
Yeah.
and Olive Gardens and whatnot.
Are you a drinker yourself?
Yes.
Yes. So, would you consider yourself a hobbyist, or are you? I hate the term mixologist. I feel like it takes away the soul of what like a real bartender does. But I do think that like there is some real mad science. uh,
Mad
to it.
science for
Yeah,
sure.
right. It really is. I
Yeah.
mean, if I could go back to school for anything, I think I'd go back for chemistry to see if I can't, find new
Yep.
interesting combinations. Are you doing that at your home bar or?
Yeah, I mean, I respect mixologists and the art of what they do. I've gone to bars and just stood and like I was in awe of this guy who literally made cocktails for the entire restaurant. And so I actually dedicated my first season to mixologists because I find that they are so important to the culture of a restaurant, the enjoyment of all the patrons. Like they're huge. I mean, the chef is and their staff is too, but drinks are so much a part of that experience too. And it's gaining momentum and it keeps gaining momentum with the experiential part of dining.
Yeah.
And so, no, I am not a mixologist by any stretch of the imagination. And in fact, I've got a bar set up here so we
Very
can mix.
excited. Jessie sent me a few
But
videos,
yeah,
sort of just walking me through her bar today because we're going to raid her liquor cabinet in just a minute to watch that. Yeah, I do you feel like drinks are too expensive at this point?
I do. I feel like it's very expensive.
Yeah.
Even in our area, $11 is about as cheap as you're gonna get a drink, and that's just a
There were
glass
some
of wine.
questions about where Jessie is
Oh,
located.
I live in Orlando
Oh,
area,
great. Do you know Winter Park?
Orlando, Florida. Yep,
Do you know the
very
Briar
well. Yep.
Patch?
No.
That's a little brunch spot. They were we don't worry about it. I was trying they were trying to bring me
Oh,
into that it's a whole story.
no, it's
That's a
fun.
whole
We
my
we
story.
have
We don't need my story.
we
um
have a train that we can jump on right by our house, and we'll take it 5 stops, and we'll be right down Winter Park, and they have little wine bar where you take your card and good restaurants. Yeah, it's fun. It's a nice
cool.
place. It's
Yeah. Yeah, I'm finding, I you said you were in New York. New York obviously just sort of the hub of cocktails. Uh,
yeah.
for I mean, for forever, everybody that opened up a new bar opened up a New York style bar, something nice and dark with red lights and the candle lights and the leather couches, all that stuff. And now we're starting to see a lot more of the bars sort of get their own like culture. LA, we have Thunderbolt out here, we have Davy Wayne's, which are sort of outdoor bars, canned cocktails. That's a real LA thing to do. What's the cocktail culture like out in Orlando?
I would say in Orlando area, it's probably their cans aren't a big thing
No.
here. But like if I were to go to the neighborhood sports bar, the distributor's making it up, and it's not very good. Like this is cocktails. Just it's not a and I'm in Lake Mary, which is just kind of northeast of Orlando, but it's a very nice community. But the cocktail culture just isn't. It's not big in Florida. I have my business partner in the export business. He said that there's no way anybody's going to have NA cocktails. We went out to dinner with my mother-in-law and father-in-law tonight, and they had 3 choices of NA cocktails on the menu, and that was closer to Orlando. So it is a culture. I mean, cocktails. If you go to a decent, you know, American bistro on up, you're gonna get decent cocktails. If you
Yeah.
go to a sports bar or a bar, you're not gonna get a cocktail menu.
Sure. Yeah, I think that probably tracks with a lot of what's going on. Are you finding that I mean, I know the last two or three bars that I've done anything with, the first thing they ask me is like, if I'm creating a menu, like, what's your NA game? Are you finding that to be, I mean, maybe not where you are, but sort of across the country, you finding that to be really on
Yes.
the rise, or is that a myth?
No, I think it's really on the rise. I think that it's a smart thing to do if you are a bar manager or restaurant owner because if you want to sell a Coke for $3 or sell a fake cocktail for 12, the
Right.
margins the margins are there,
Yeah,
you
they
know?
certainly are.
The margins are there, and I think the biggest problem that I'm seeing with NA right now is the sugar content, and people are worried to try them because of sugar.
Yeah.
And we on our second quarter review, Kate from Uncle Nearest was in a grocer out in California, and they were going to get rid of half of their NA category. One, because it didn't sell as fast, they didn't have the velocity,
Yeah.
and two, they were expiring because they had natural ingredients in them.
Right, of course. Yeah, you can't fortify a
Right,
an NA
with
cocktail.
vodka and bourbon and all, like having alcohol in a cocktail,
Yeah.
it improves the shelf life.
Yeah,
And so
like,
that's we're
opening up a
seeing that as
restaurant
well.
is such a gamble because you really have to get those numbers exactly right. You don't sell enough chicken, that chicken goes bad. With a bar, if you over order one week, just under order the next week and you'll be fine. I feel like bars are going to have to really start dealing with the NA stuff.
Yeah, I really do, and I think the one category, as we all know, that's really hit it out of the park is beer. Beer is there,
Yeah.
right? I think spirits have some work to do. It's getting better. The wines are getting better. A lot of them aren't even wines; they're teas, right?
Right.
So that's your compromise. But when it's the experience of what you're doing, does it matter? And that's only a question you can ask yourself. And a lot of people are zebra striping, as they call it, where you're going out and you're having a cocktail, you're taking a break, you're having a cocktail,
It's
you're
called
taking a break.
zebra striping.
Yeah,
That's
they
a
call it zebra.
spectacular name. So you drink and you pause and you drink and you pause like a zebra, obviously.
Yeah, well, like you
Yeah.
have an alcoholic drink, and then you have one without alcohol.
Yeah.
Then you have, you pace yourself, or you have a couple, you wait, and then, or whatever the case may be. But
Because the
yeah, that's kind of the
kids,
thing.
I mean, the Gen Z, all I ever hear, and to be fair, I feel like I left the bars in 2020, like right as
Yeah.
COVID hit. I left. I think we were the last bar open in downtown. So I think we closed our doors March 14th of 2020. I feel like I missed all of Gen Z. Um, and so now I'm just hearing that Gen Z, they aren't drinking. They don't sort of know how to hang out in bars. Um,
Well, yes, their computer play games and blah
yeah.
blah blah. But you have to think of the market dynamics at play here too,
Yeah.
right? They First of all, they were home during school, like they're going to college for the first time during COVID,
Yeah.
you know, and maybe they graduated, maybe they didn't. A lot of them are living with their parents. Their parents are buying,
Right.
and if they did graduate, they can't afford it. They can't even afford a place to live. So they're
Yeah.
living with mom and dad. And so what the data is showing us now is that Gen Z, as they get older, are drinking as much as the generations before them, just not in their 20s, because they don't have the money.
Oh, so we're saying
But
that as they grow older, they will click back into this normal human thing of drinking their little
that's
problems away.
that's what the data is saying right now. But I think there's a lot of forces at play here, because there's pot. Pot became kind of
Yeah,
normalized.
super normal.
And there's other, and some people prefer that.
Yeah.
And some people, if you're going to puff on a pen all day, do you really need to drink after that?
No, I
I
don't want
don't,
to
I
talk to
mean,
anybody after
right. So so
that.
I'm just saying there are certain factors that I think are at play there, that we just didn't know the answer, or think about the economy, or the economics of these kids at
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched a report the other day about some pub in England. Now, this is one of those like crazy reports that dog bites man kind of thing. But basically, this pub has gotten rid of walking up to the bar and hailing your bartender. What they now have is lines, because they were losing the Gen Z, because the Gen Z were like, "Oh, I was here before." Then they would get very upset. They would get very
They're rule followers
they
now.
wanted to follow the rules, that I was here first. It used to be like, hey, the pretty people got their drinks first, and
That's
then
right.
the idiot that's waving their $5 bill in my face got their drinks last, and that's how it works. And now they're sort of putting lines. So I do, as
Interesting.
much as I think that as that annoys me. I have to realize that I have white in my beard at this point. I am no longer sort of up on, I'm an old white beard bartender. This is man yells at cloud kind of thing. I think you got to step up to what the kids are doing.
Yeah.
I think that's
No, we definitely and think about this too, wines down and blah blah blah. Let's not forget about the baby boomer generation. We're losing them now.
right.
And they were a big consumer of not only wine, liquor, and spirits, of everything.
Yeah,
And we're not replacing those people.
right.
And so we got to keep that in mind for the over the next 10 to 15, I don't know, 20 years maybe. I don't know what when the boomers start offhand, but I
Yeah.
mean, I think it's something that we need to be cognizant about.
So do you think that losing the baby boomers who have their brands, Diageo has bought most of them, Pernod Ricard has bought a lot of them. Do you think that that is going to hurt Diageo and help the smaller distillers, or do you think it's the opposite? Do you think the kids will continue to go towards these brands that have been around forever?
I really think that if Diageo and some of these brands don't get their shit together when it comes to tequila
Oh,
and the
they're
CRT,
dying.
yeah, I think if they don't these kids aren't gonna drink their shit. And
No.
if these brands are being bought by these companies, they're not gonna drink any of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
so I believe that these companies gotta start being a little bit more aware, and do they really need that much more margin on Casamigos? Like, for real.
I mean, listen,
You
George Clooney, he's
really?
got he's got his nut too. So, Randy Gerber's got
Well,
to take care of. He's got to take care
they
of.
sold out a long time ago,
Yeah, yeah,
but I really do think that the storytelling and the ideals behind things, I mean, not to throw the Me Too movement in, but we watched this movie with Bumble and Tinder and the chick that was kind of behind it all and how she had that integrity of the story, and these kids love that.
yeah,
These
yeah.
kids, it's going to be ever more important. And so I think if you want that consumer, you want that loyalty, you got to listen to what they want
I
and
love to hear
direct
that.
attention
I
to them.
love talking with small distillers.
Yep.
For me, the drink is one thing. The whole thesis of what I do is literally anybody can be a bartender. You learn your 7 cocktails, you learn a couple tricks, and from there, you can make a drink. And the reason that we don't do just a show where I make a cocktail and tell you, how to make it is because I just looking around this room right now, I have hundreds of books on how to do that. I do
Yeah.
think that finding that social aspect of it is so much more important now, and the story behind exactly what you're selling, behind your brand is so important because there are so many great ones. You were talking about the veterans ones. I got all kinds of great stuff that's been dropped off here. Um, how beyond sort of what you and I are doing, which is getting on the internet and trying to talk to the people. How do you think that we're getting? How do we get those stories out?
I think the brand has to find a connection to their consumer, whether it's on TikTok or Instagram.
Yeah,
I don't know if the kids are really using Twitter. I think that's probably us old people getting news. I don't
I
really
think you're
know.
probably right.
I
I think you're
mean, they're not on Facebook, right?
right. No,
So
we are
I
live on
think what
Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, you can comment and I can see your comments. But but no, for the most part, I think you're right.
I don't know, obviously, after the changeover, it's kind of mayhem. Who knows what's going on there?
Yeah,
I liked it because I could find interesting people that I could interview or just whatever. Um, but I think that um, they're gonna have to reach these people one mouth at a time
yeah.
with this liquid to lips concept. This um, what's Stella Rosa Rivoli Winery.
Okay.
They do something like 3,000 tastings a year, and
Jesus.
what they do is they have that entry level Stella Rosa brand, right? The sugary sweet stuff,
Love it.
but they're actually really good quality
Yeah.
wines. And they go from the lower end, the sugary stuff, all the way up to the end of all the high end wines you could want. And so their whole platform is to get people started on wines early here and then take them through the journey of the different platforms. And the only way you do that is if you get liquid to lips and you connect with them, on a some the brand touches them somehow personally, or catches their eye on something that they care about.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, very rarely will you, if I meet somebody at one of these tastings that is passionate, that has their story, that's ready to go, will they hand me something and will I sip it and spit it out? I'm always like, oh gosh, that was wow. I don't know if that
Yeah.
was, there's some sort of blindness that I put on where I'm like, I'm in love with this human that's telling me the story. I'm gonna like this booze. I mean, are any of us so good that we can even look past that human connection? I think you're exactly right. Finding ways to I love the term liquid to lips. Should we put liquid to lips real quick? I know that you have a lot of fun brands
Let's
behind
do
you.
it.
We've gone 35 minutes without a drink, and that is way too long for this show. So I promised that we would raid your liquor cabinet. Now you have a bunch of fun stuff. Here is Carl.
Let me see if I could give you the tour.
Oh, yes, please. Carl is yelling, let's raid the bar. I know that Carl works in the booze industry as well, so maybe one of Carl's brands would be helping. Yes, absolutely.
I'm a little crooked.
That's all right. We'll take it. What's the red one? I think it says saffron.
Okay, this is Apolog. They were on the podcast too, and this is saffron. I've got a persimmon one too. These are it's 35% alcohol, but they're mixers that you mix with different things.
So what's Jesse, we didn't even cover this. What is your favorite type of drink? Like when you go out, so like when I go out, the drink that I judge a bar by is their daiquiri. If you can balance your lime, your sugar, and your rum together, I feel like we're in a good spot. Do you have a drink like that?
Well, I'm a bourbon girl.
Yes. So
I can't help it. I love bourbon so much.
There is,
and I love tequila and gin too.
Cool.
Sorry about that.
That's good.
You saw the bar.
So maybe we can build like a Manhattan style cocktail if we just sort of follow the ideas of what a Manhattan is. 2, 1, and some bitters, and see if we can't build something like that out. So, do you have a bourbon that you're dying to try?
Well, I have Maker's Mark and Michter's. Which one do you think we should try?
I mean, I always have Maker's Mark because they sell it in big bottles, but Michter's usually does well. The people are shouting, "Yes, bourbon! Yes, bourbon!" So bourbon.
Yes,
clearly,
bourbon! Yes, bourbon!
So I think bourbon is.
Why don't we have them tell me what bourbon they'd want me to try?
If you guys are watching, we have Maker's Mark, we got Michter's. And then, Davey Virtue yelling Michter's. I feel like Michter's is gonna be the way to go. I love that bourbon. That's a real fun one.
Okay.
And then, can you give me like a flavor profile? Yeah, Michter's unanimously. Can you give me a flavor profile on that saffron? Is it boozy? Is it?
Yeah, it's got a little booze in it, but it's I mean, it's herbal.
Yeah.
It's citrus.
Okay.
It goes really well with bourbon.
Okay. So if we pull something like that, if we're adding the sweetness in here, do you have a dry vermouth?
I do.
I think I saw you that you had maybe a Noily Pratt.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we're gonna build a Manhattan is just an old fashioned that's, instead of sweetened by sugar, is sweetened by a fortified wine. If we split that fortified wine base, so we do 2 parts Michter's, I guess we do 4 parts Michter's, 1 part of the saffron, 1 part of that dry, since we're adding so much sweet to it, and then finding something that's like fun and like an Amaro, something that's got some bitterness to it, something that.
I don't have Amaro.
Do you have anything? What other like big flavors do you have right there?
I mean, I have bitters. What
kind of bitters do you have?
I have El Guapo Chicory Pecan.
Spectacular. Yeah, so the saffron, if it goes together, I feel like those bitters would go really well with that saffron. So we throw
Okay.
that in there. Let's see if I have anything close to that, and then you and I can have a similar drink and
Okay.
continue on.
It's 1 part
So
saffron,
so
1
so
part.
I did it. Yeah, 1 part. So when we're doing parts like that, I would do half an ounce is a part. So
Oh
half an
well,
ounce.
screw that. I already did a full
Then you're
ounce.
making a
So
double. I say let's go.
okay.
Jesse, it's gonna get weird in the second half, and I feel like that's where we should go with it. We talked all the numbers at the beginning. Let's get weird on the second half. All right,
So
I'm gonna do
4
the
parts of this one.
So yeah, so
4
then that
parts.
would be
Oh.
4 parts. So if that's 2 ounces, let's see what I got here. I'm gonna go with the makers instead because my mictors just disappeared out of the bottle. I don't know how that happened. It just one day
It's
it was
so
there.
weird how that
Yeah,
happens,
and then the
right?
next day, Jesse, it just wasn't there anymore. I don't know what I've done with it.
That angel share, it never stops.
Exactly. Yeah. You are. Unfortunately, I am no angel, so I feel like I can't.
So
I can't.
just a few drops of the El Guapo.
Yeah, I think just a few drops of that El Guapo should put you in there. I'm going to go ahead and put in half an ounce
Okay.
of our dry vermouth and then find something nice and sweet and interesting. Oh, what was that? I feel like I recognize that bottle, and there's a chance that I have something similar. I don't think I have the... oh, you know what I got? I got this stuff right here.
I'm very proud of this move right here, Dr. Cush.
Oh my gosh, look at you. Yeah, you
Look
got
at this.
the ice spinning, and you can you got to my people, you notice she is when she spins, you recognize the same piece of ice that goes by. She's spinning that correctly. I'm going to try this ambrosia.
This is the modern mixology set. When I interviewed Tony, he sent me it. Oh, it makes all the difference. It makes it so much more fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, like every bar I've ever worked at, when you start shaking the cocktail, people stop what they're doing and look. Some of them will then start yelling shake weight at you, which I think at this point is a 30-year-old reference. But that doesn't mean that they're not going to do it.
Look at this Goldie.
Yeah. I'll put it right, yeah. Oh, yeah, look at that. All right, I think you and I will have a similar color of cocktail. I'm going to bring out just a little bit of ice here. I love that you have the coupe ready to go.
Yep, the coupe. That took me like a year and a half to master, I think. I'm not a master either, by the way. I'm very proud of the fact that I could stir it.
I think you're doing great. Now, is your coupe a Marie Antoinette? Oh, look at that. Okay, so this is one of my favorite drinking facts. So you see that little drip, that little drop. So mine doesn't have it. So this is an all-purpose.
He's down here?
Yes, right down there. Right down there. So the story goes, Marie Antoinette, the Austrian Queen of France, was such a big partier. She loved partying so much that when she was drinking her champagne, she wanted to create her own glass. And she thought, well, how will they know it's a Marie Antoinette? Well, I have a plan. So she had it molded after one of her breasts. So the little divot in the little bottom is supposed to be Marie Antoinette's nipple. So when you're drinking from an all-purpose coupe, there's no nipple. So this is an APC. But then there's the Marie Antoinette, which has the nipple, which every time, anytime some dude would be like, oh, can you put it in a dude glass? I'm like, bro, I'm putting it like there's literally a nipple in this glass. I don't know what your deal is. You got to get over it, pal.
That is the funniest story I've ever heard, and I hope that's true.
Yeah, I do too.
We get this. So we inherited a lot of stuff from her Nana and Papa, and they were okay drinkers. I don't think they were massive partiers or anything, but they like to have a drink. And so that's where we inherited these glasses from, Nana and Papa.
I love that there's some history to those glasses. Now, can I ask how many of them have broken?
We only have 4.
And you still have all 4?
Yes, knock on wood.
Excellent. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think I have a full set of any glasses left except for my metal ones. I feel like that's about where I'm at with these guys. All right, well, so you have a sort of a Manhattan style cocktail. It's 212. That's how you remember that it's a Manhattan. It's the area code for Manhattan is 212. It's 2 parts
Oh,
booze, 1 part vermouth or some sweetener. Like Paul up here is drinking something like that. He's drinking a Black Manhattan. He's got a Verna instead of the rest of it. But it's 212, 212. So, and then 2 dashes of bitters, which I, of course, oh no, I put my chocolate
okay.
bitters in there. Um,
Do I put an orange on this?
if you with saffron, yeah, I guess saffron and orange would do well. Should we do should we
Why
do
not?
a little oh yeah, I
Looks
love that.
pretty.
I'm gonna throw just a little garnish on mine. We're gonna do a quick little bird on the end. Let me bring in my garnish
I have,
pan. Oh, that one
I
is stopped.
have, I have only a lemon in that arena,
That's all right. Let me just
but
knock mine out real quick. We'll
he's
go.
a he's a real tiny tot, just a little one.
Yeah, I feel like saffron and lemon might go better, especially when you're drinking bourbon. For some
Okay,
reason, bourbon and lemon just go slightly better together. That might just be a taste thing. That might be something that's just been beat into me over the many years of bartending that I have done. That bourbon and lemon go together, whereas rum and lime and tequila and lime go together. I'm gonna throw
fair.
this little guy here at the
Oh, look at your little
end of mine. Yeah,
bird.
right. Awfully cute. And
That's called mixology right there.
that's exactly what that is. That's exactly what that is. This is
Not this,
mixology.
not this.
Well, honestly, Jesse, I think you're on your way at least. I think the passion for it is the first step, and then after that, you'll figure it out. This is, yeah, because this drink used to cost $5, now it costs 15. I feel like that bird added 10
That
quick
bird,
dollars.
$10 right there.
Well, cheers,
Five
Jesse.
$5 for labor.
That's exactly five. Yeah, please. What am I sitting here for free? Get out of town.
Yeah.
No, I got places I'd rather be. Some other bar usually. Cheers to you. Let's see how we
Cheers.
did.
Okay. Fantastic.
Bourbon forward. You're gonna find that dry vermouth, especially when you're adding a sweet other ingredients. You want that dry
Yeah.
vermouth as opposed to that red. You don't want to overdo it with the sweetness. And since you're using bourbon, which is corn,
Mm.
it's a whole thing.
Yeah,
So.
that's the best Manhattan ever, I think.
I think we've all right, we've done it.
I mean, the El Guapo is pretty. I think that really kind of gives it that ending,
Yeah,
the extra flavors.
yeah,
I don't know if it's hickory or pecan. I think it's melded into the whole cocktail, but it has this nice full, um, finish to it that I just wasn't expecting.
yeah, yeah.
But there's so much going on in here,
Whenever I
and it's
start, whenever anybody asks, like, "Hey, Cush, I want to do some bartending in my house. What should I get?" First thing I always say is bitters. Get out and find bitters.
hmm
Make a classic cocktail and then add, because we say bitters now as if any of these are bitter anymore. And I have 100 different types of bitters. I think 3 of them actually have any real bitter notes to them anymore. It's just cocktail
yeah,
flavoring. It's finding that
yeah,
balance, right? Like it's just finding a way to add a little extra. And what a great what a great system to do it, because bitters don't go bad. Keep them back
yeah.
here. Yeah, for sure. Um, so what do you see? What's the trend right now, Jesse, that we aren't on? Like where is the next thing gonna be?
Well, um, I I think, and what I've been seeing and what I'm getting more and more impressed with, and that's maybe because of who I'm interviewing on the podcast, but um, I'm seeing there's a lot of noise.
Yeah,
And I think that next year we're gonna reset, and I think a lot of companies aren't gonna make it. Because you have a lot of people that don't know what they're doing.
right.
They don't know the industry, they didn't come up with enough money to do it correctly, they didn't hire the right people, and I'm seeing that I'm not seeing that anymore. And what I'm also seeing is people hiring the right people that are in the industry, that understand how important finance and operations are
Yeah,
to scale. And the other important thing I feel is people are growing deeper before they go wider because everybody wants to be a national brand. Well,
Yeah.
that's not really should never be a goal. You need to get your neighborhood first, the net neighborhood, all around your neighborhood before you get your state, and then you
Yeah.
start going to another state, and you grow it organically because that touch and those liquid to lips is so important in building a brand because there's so much noise. You go into a liquor store, you go into Total Wine, and I'm just kind of like, I don't the beer and the non-alc and all the things like
Yeah.
I don't know. And so I think that to stay above the noise, you're gonna have to do that. I think another trend I'm seeing, and I really really love this. Is, as you know, I'm passionate about mixology and
Absolutely.
mixologists and what they do for our industry. I'm seeing a lot of more mixologists forward um, cocktail in a can,
Yes.
and
Yes.
the reason why that's important is because they're using the right ingredients. Yes, I understand people are keto. Yes, I understand people don't want to use sugar. But when it comes to making the cocktail, the sugar is an emulsifier. It's an extremely important part of putting all the things together. And yes, okay, fine, just don't drink these. But the cocktails that I've had with people that are really behind the bar and understand how to do it and then put it in a can and grow and scale, those are the people that are going to win.
Yeah.
That's my prediction for next year. I think those are going to really do well.
I love the idea. I mean, there are some. So I put up these guys. These guys just recently won Dr. Cush's exotic cocktail in a can Mai Tai off the straightaway guys. When I open this up and I pour it out, it tastes just like a Mai Tai. I taste
Yep.
the orgeat. I taste the rum that they've chosen. Clearly, they're not just finding their mainline rum, throwing whatever they can in there to try and get away with something. Sugar is a part of booze. They're just,
It
you don't
is.
find a lot of real skinny people that are deep into the booze industry. Because sugar is it's one of the four big flavors. Um, yeah, I love, I would love that concept to get
You
bigger.
know, you should have Charles Jolly on your podcast. He also loves Mai Tais and
Yeah,
he does cocktails in a can. And he's a serious bartender like you,
yeah.
behind the bar, managed restaurants, blah 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 blah. Um, and he's got it down to it like a
Oh,
scientist. He's got it down to the nth degree of science. And they're
yeah.
little cocktail cans. You only need one. I mean, one drink is a punch. You
Yeah.
know, it's got a powerful
It's a
punch to it. And
drink. Yeah, you're not supposed to
yeah,
be sipping on these things for, for the whole volleyball game,
right.
like we want to drink this and
No.
we're going to get back to our volleyball game after we're done drinking. Drinking
Yeah.
has to be, it's breaking bread. It's, when you're sitting down and having a drink with somebody, I don't care what your politics are, I don't care what your opinions are, I don't care whatever it is. You and I sitting down having a drink in a public house is the most
Yeah.
important thing. Or I feel like, especially with shows like yours, shows like mine, we're sort of bringing the public house everywhere. At Dr. Cush's, you never drink alone. Whether you're sitting at home watching this, I
Yep.
think before this I said this show works best if if it seems like you're sort of watching the bartender and the bartender's friend and you're overhearing a conversation. But yeah, finding those moments as opposed to those huge, the soda cans and whatever the White Claws and all that stuff. Like
Yeah.
I just don't see
Yeah.
those
No, thank you.
as sustainable. Yeah. We talk all the time. When people jump into my show, they say, "Hey, Kush, what's your favorite X, Y, and Z?" And I always say, "There's three things that have to go into that. I have to like it, I have to be able
Yeah.
to afford it, and I have to be able to
Yeah.
find it." My
Yeah.
favorite bourbon of all time is one out of Buffalo, New York. It's called Hartman's Bourbon, and
Mm.
they don't sell anywhere outside of New York. So I have a friend that lives in Buffalo. He'll bring me a bottle every once in a while. I happen to know the distiller, so he's more than a friend, but he'll drop off bottles.
Right.
But I watch these guys, Mike Mike and his brother, and they are killing it. They're killing it because
Mm.
they have cornered Buffalo. And I feel like that's so important.
Yep.
What you're saying, finding that depth as opposed to going wide so quickly. Um,
Yeah.
we're sort of watching the collapse of the influencer tequila. I mean, does anybody like? How is 818 tequila doing? Kendall Jenner's, like, is it like? There's no way, right?
I mean, the only one I mean, outside of Clooney and the Aviator Gin, um, not too many people have been too successful. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got The Rock, but The Rock is just he's The Rock.
Right. Of
So
course. Yeah. 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 He's.
and it's affordable.
Yeah. Yeah.
He wants to be the tequila for the people. That's his whole mantra.
Yeah.
And so I think if unless you're someone like him, I mean, I'm seeing some of these wine companies get some celebrities. I just
Who
I don't
cares?
know. I don't
Yeah.
yeah, I don't see it. I think it's been oversaturated and undervalued, like overvalued.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's not going to be the story that gets your consumer to be loyal to you by
Yeah.
picking some famous actors.
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
No, I feel like for a long time, just people didn't understand tequila. They just didn't like. They didn't. They had Patron. They had Jose Cuervo. They knew that they liked Patron more than Jose Cuervo. So
Right.
what tequila? What other tequila would I like? Well, here's Kendall Jenner to explain to you what other tequila you will like. And I feel like it's, while that's probably a nice thought, I feel like it missed the mark. I think you're
Yeah.
exactly right. Having these distillers, having these humidors come out and talk to people about what the story is, because then there's just something there's something romantic about booze. People get romantic about baseball. I get romantic about booze. There's just something is so wonderful about these people that have spent their whole lives, 5 generations, 10 generations of families that have put their heart and soul. They worry about their land. They've taken care of
Yeah.
their workers, and now that is literally that's in the glass. I just,
Yeah.
yeah, I more of that.
Agreed. Yeah. No, 100. You're spot on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just more of that. Yeah,
100%.
I think, boy, I
And there's so much of it out there too.
yeah.
I mean, it's exciting times, and I understand that, the big guys and they're not stable and all the things, but you know, we this has been an industry that has been status quo forever.
Yeah.
Eh,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Not forever,
Oh, yeah, but for
but
as long as, I
for the
mean,
last 10 to 20
yeah,
years.
probably since the 80s. I mean, you still have your brands from the 80s that people still they still cling on to. But
Mhm.
yeah, I do think that more smash mouth bartenders, more people like you that are out there promoting brands. I mean, sorry, let's get into a little bit of this before I let you go. But you seek out brands. Is that a part of your job?
Yeah,
And what are you
I
looking
do.
for? Most like, I mean, from what we've been talking about, you're looking for brands with stories.
Yes.
Is there anything else what's another like key
Well, veteran
factor?
owned or military
Yeah,
focus is certainly my wheelhouse. I'm looking for something that's going to stand out and be unique.
yeah,
The military is difficult in the sense that a lot of times they look at Nielsen and some of the syndicated data, and if you're not in a certain volume range,
yeah,
they're gonna like. But if you're in Buffalo and they have 3 stores in Buffalo, they'll consider putting it on the shelf there.
right,
You know what I mean? They
yeah,
they will look at regional brands, but you gotta have a little bit of momentum. You
yeah,
can't just be here, there, and everywhere.
yeah.
Um, there has been some of the most high quality vodkas at a cheap price. I can't believe it.
It's great.
Um,
Vodka is the literal Wild West. I mean, who knows what kind of vodka they like?
yeah, and I got a single rye for $8
That's
out of Poland,
crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Again, I just don't think
and it's
people know what
amazing.
they like. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
There are some amazing vodkas in the world. There's some amazing, all that stuff. But yeah, getting what do you say? Something to lips. Liquor to lips.
liquid to lips.
Liquid to lips.
I
Liquid to
also
lips.
I also think you can't always go by price. You gotta go by what you like.
Yeah.
Because like, if you saw this brand on the shelf at $12, you probably aren't gonna buy it, but then you read it and you're like, "This is a single state rye from
Yeah.
Poland? Yeah, I want that." And it's
Absolutely.
really good.
Yeah.
So I think there's gonna be a lot more opportunities like that, but there's a lot of noise, and, I think it's gonna take a few years, and, the NA business isn't going anywhere. It's a small category right now. It's growing, obviously. CBD, THC drinks aren't going away. They're gonna still continue. Uh, and one thing I wanted to mention too about RTDs, and RTDs are just killing it.
Yeah.
They're just this is 2025 is the year of RTDs,
Yeah.
hands down. You just got to give it to them. Will it last forever? No, I don't think so. But I think you have to think of the market dynamics that are behind that as well. Inflation's high. People don't have a liquidity.
Yep.
RTDs are cheap.
Hmm.
They can grab it while they're getting gas. They're
Yep.
convenient, and the kids too. They can afford it
Yeah.
because they're malts, or whatever, at $8 for 4 cans, or whatever the
Yeah.
price is. But you know what I mean? And I think that's part of a lot of their success as well. And men and women are both drinking.
I love them. So my
Yeah,
one of my favorite cocktails is also the Cosmopolitan. So I listen. I may be
nice.
breaking. I know that I look like a big old bear, but I'm very sensitive on the inside. I'm very squishy. um,
They
just
always are.
That's exactly right. We have to be, yeah, big bear. Yeah, my nutritionist calls me a sensitive bear. She won't stop calling. I asked her
Aw.
to stop calling it to me. She says, just because you're asking that doesn't mean I'll stop. Dougie G wants to know, are you military?
I did not serve. No,
Did
my
not serve.
father did.
That's all right. Let me just ask two more questions, and then we'll get out of here. What's the trend that you like least right now?
Oh, I have never thought about that. Um, Trend that I like least. Like,
And if you guys have any questions for Jesse, please drop them in the chat. I'll try to get to as many as I can.
well, my whole background and what I did, my previous job the last couple of years was to support innovation and
Hmm.
new brands and innovation. And so this is one of the most incredible times to be in our industry with all the innovation. And I'm so lucky to be able to be a part of it. Um, I guess for me, being a little bit on the traditional side of things, I'm not over the moon about the RTDs
Okay,
just because of the mixology.
sure.
I guess if you're gonna ask me that piece of it, I don't begrudge it. I don't think they're bad cocktails. I don't think I understand the market for them, but I also am kind of, a little bit of a traditionalist when
Yeah.
it comes to the industry as a whole, because I think that, yes, we've got our makers and all the things, but those companies are really important
Yeah.
for our restaurants and our bars and
Absolutely.
stability of that.
And there's
And
something nice about the witchcraft, right? Like a dash of crow's beak, a little bit of eye of newt, and then suddenly something brand new comes out, and you have this
yeah,
beautiful new thing. Yeah, I think that there's something really, yeah, and you
yeah,
do lose that with the RTDs. Um,
yeah. And I think that, bars aren't going to stay open or close because of an RTD, but
right.
the booze is very important.
Yeah.
And so I guess if you think about our industry as a whole, it's probably not sustainable.
Yeah. Excuse me. Live show. Yeah, I mean, to push back just a touch, I do think it's interesting when guys like Sammy Ross put out, when he creates a penicillin, or his cocktail, or he puts out a paper plane, and he RTDs that. Not many people in the world are ever going to get to taste a real Sam Ross made cocktail until it makes it into an RTD, but that's such a small portion
Right.
of that whole thing.
Well,
So
and
I do
I'm
think,
all for canned
yeah,
cocktails. Like real mixology
yeah,
canned cocktails, I'm all for.
right. It's the, yeah, yeah. I'm listen, I would love to say as a bartender that has a bar completely accessible that I don't do RTDs and I always make my daiquiris fresh. That is
Yeah.
just not the case. Sometimes I just want to drink, but I will tell you, Jesse, I always feel guilty every time I do it. I say, "Oh God,
Why?
who am I? Who have I put out of business? What bar am I not keeping in business at this point?"
No, it's not that much. I mean, enjoy them because they're there for you to enjoy, and I think the convenience of it is important. But I'm not worried because
Yeah,
you're always mixing cocktails.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I just beer's been around forever, and
Right.
those are convenient and easy, right? But you know,
And
the
come with a
stories,
story. A lot of great beers will come with a
yeah,
story. Yeah.
yeah, and I think some of them. I mean, um, High Noon has no story whatsoever. you know, but it's the number one selling spirit out there.
Yeah.
It's like crazy, but um, some of these companies can make that work, obviously, but
Um,
that's not the norm.
no, 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 it's not the norm. I there was a skit on SNL where everybody was making an RTD. I feel, Microsoft had their own soda water. It was a whole thing. Davey Virtue, one of my this is through Bon Bon, wants to know what your favorite tequila is.
My favorite tequila. Well, I'll tell you what I drink a lot of, and that is Terramana. I'm a loyalist.
Yeah,
I launched that in the military. It was the biggest. It was the biggest brand launch in APHIS history. I'm very proud of that. We
yeah,
got worldwide very quickly.
cool.
Um, and that's what I drink. That would call that my everyday tequila.
Yeah,
Lalo is also very good. Lalo tequila is
yeah.
very good.
Roger G asks, do you see any chance that consumers can order direct from local distillers the way they can with local foods and farmers? So much I want to try, but I just can't get it in my state. Do you see? I know that I've threatened to run for president multiple times on this show
Please do.
to just
Please.
all I'm going to do is get the liquor laws straight, and then I'm going to give it off to my vice president. I'm also going to fill in some potholes in Southern California because it's ridiculous. But after I've done those two things, I'm
I
giving it to
think
my vice president.
that,
Um,
that that's not a very strong national campaign, Dr.
I
Kush.
know, I know. I don't think I have much of a chance, but different. A lot of people can win president apparently. Do you see any? Do you see any? What do you think? What do you feel like the trends are in the national laws for booze? Do you think we're going to change those at any time? Are we going to stay a somewhat Puritan group of colonies, or do you think that you see any indications that we're moving towards more of a national liquor unification of
I
laws?
think I think if we could, um, it would ease the pain of everybody involved.
Yeah,
But the current administration, which is Republican, which is conservative,
right.
they want more power in the states.
Hmm.
And I see also that more and more states are looking to go backwards on pot and CBD
Right.
and THC. So we got to be mindful of that.
Yeah.
So, people beg Biden to do it, but he won't do it. He's 80. People in their 80s don't understand pot's just fine. It's no big deal,
Yeah.
but I'm sure that people will hate me for that. But it's if it was regulated, we wouldn't have as many
Yeah.
problems,
Yeah.
and we would be able to have more funding to teach people proper ways to do it, how much you should try it when you don't know anything about it. Like there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of things I think that could be beneficial to having it as a federal law, including these dispensaries to have a bank account.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
we had a on our website, we had a brand that was THC and CBD, and my business partner said something. Oh yeah, we've got pot on there, and they're like,
Bye.
take your business
Yeah.
elsewhere.
See ya. Yeah. Do you see any chance of liquor law, like after Prohibition, when we did the distillers, the distributors, and then the sellers? Do you see any
Oh yeah,
indication
yeah, yeah.
that we're
I
starting
see.
to sandwich those together, so maybe we can get rid of the distributors and Just go. I'm
No.
sorry, Carl. I know Carl's a distributor. Do you see any chance that
No.
we're getting to a place? No, you feel like the liquor laws.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
It is absolutely impossible to do business without them.
Yeah.
And nobody wants that.
Yeah.
It's so I don't know, and I can go a little history on you if you want to listen about
I
it.
got a little
But
bit more to drink.
okay, yeah, well, I will pour.
Yeah.
Diageo back in 2023 or so. I was out in the Hamptons and I'm at a bar. I wanted to try some wines that were made out there, and ended up sitting next to this guy who's like, "Yeah, I'm on this account, this deal where this what do you call those, the the companies that do the research for them, like McKinsey and
Okay.
Company, whatever." It was one of those types of companies. And anyway, he's like, "Yeah, we discovered that it would have been so much, you will make so much more money if you take your business and put it across a national distributor instead of being in different distributors in different states." And at the time, the only two companies that had any kind of national distribution was RNDC, which wasn't RNDC then either. It was Republic and National,
Yeah.
and then Southern. And so there was this big announcement 20 years ago where it was like, "Oh, okay, well, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna shake everything up. We're gonna move houses." And so everybody followed suit. So you had the top 20 in wine and spirits. They all did it. Well, it ruined everything in the industry for
Yeah.
everybody else because they didn't have time, because they had to commit to making certain numbers.
Right.
Right. And then you had the consolidation of all these small guys getting eaten up by all the big guys. And so now we're in a situation where we have not enough distributors, and 100 times the products.
Mm.
And the math just doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. And so what's happening now is you're seeing smaller distributors grow, and they're so needed right now
Yeah.
because you got the problem in California where RNDC just left.
Yep.
And it's a plethora of opportunity right now, and I think that the smaller distributors, but it takes money and it takes consistency,
Yeah.
and it takes feet on the street, and it takes a lot of work, and you got to have the energy to do it.
Yeah.
But the opportunities are there, if you can do it. And so you're kind of seeing the industry have a reversal
Yeah.
now. Consolidation, consolidation, consolidation. Back to, okay, sell, sell, sell. We can't handle this portfolio, and people are kind of moving and shaking. So
to sum things up,
it's
I haven't ruined my life by going into booze. We are a viable industry. The state of booze is strong. Whether
Yep.
I've disappointed my parents in other things, it probably isn't the booze that's doing it. And we're in a good spot. Carl, don't worry. Jessie says distributors aren't going anywhere. So well done, Carl. You picked a.
No, you're not going. I can bring you so much business. You just got to say the word.
All right, Carl.
But
get onto it. Get onto it. All right, Jessie, this was spectacular. What a fun time.
it was fun.
I am going to be on Jessie's podcast. You and I are we're shooting. So she doesn't do hers live, which is a really smart idea now that I think about it. Well, we're going to be shooting that on Tuesday, and that'll be coming out. Is it this Thursday or next Thursday?
I have the date. I don't know. I
don't worry about it.
Sorry. I'm a little behind.
Make sure that you guys
schedule.
are following Jessie over at Thirsty Thursday podcast at 3 p.m. EST. Search that and you will find the correct Thirsty Thursday project.
Yeah. There is Thursday Thursdays that are kind of out there. So that's why the at symbol 3 p.m. EST is important, because otherwise you won't find it. But we have a lot of fun over there. I've had amazing guests, and I'd love for you to check it out.
I've really been enjoying listening. I mean, honestly, for somebody that's in the liquor industry, it is incredibly interesting to me, all the stuff you guys talk about. So I
That's
really
great.
like it. Will some of you guys find it a little dry just because it really is, you guys dig deep into the industry? Probably not my audience. My audience actually will probably find it incredibly interesting. You guys are doing something very cool over there. I hope more people in the industry, more people that really, really enjoy booze will find it. Honestly, Jessie, you are very good at your job. Just listening to your
Okay, well, thank
yourself, I'm
you.
like,
Thank you
oh
very
my
much.
gosh, wow, she's got charts. I don't have charts. I'm out. I gotta go.
Yeah, well, I am an analyst, so
No,
I can't help
you
it.
are killing it, and this is what it needs. If you guys want to know like a comp to this, think about Behind Bars by Davey Wonderich, where they dig deep into topics. It is a fantastic podcast. Find it Thirsty Thursdays at 3 p.m. Jessie, thank you so much for being part of the thing. Let me just say real quick, nice guest appearance by Jessie. Great show. Great show. Many thanks to Jessie. Great conversation. Thanks for all the info, Jessie. You're getting a flood of people that
Great.
love Jessie. Jessie, our new favorite.
Yay.
Thank you
Thank you,
so much,
guys.
Jessie, and we will
It was so
chat
fun.
with
I
you.
could keep talking,
Listen,
I'm
we
so
could.
passionate about this
I
stuff.
think some of these people either have to go to bed or make dinner. That's a problem with a live show.
Okay.
Is of course I do owe it to people to release them at some point. Otherwise, yeah. Otherwise,
All right, well,
we just
thank
go.
you so much.
Yeah,
This has been a blast.
but I will be on your show next, and I guess
Yep.
now then you get a chance to return the favor, where you are not going to ask me a bunch of questions that I didn't know were coming. So yeah, exactly. Yeah. You think of them. I'll put together another cocktail, and we'll go from there. Thank you, Jessie. Until next time, stick around in the room. I'll chat with you right after I run this stuff real quick, unless you have somewhere to go.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
course,
hang
I'm
out,
here.
and then I'll chat with you just after I run these credits. Thank you guys so much for joining me and Jessie tonight at Dr. Cush's. We went into this is the cave. We went into a history lesson, so we went into the cave. That's what the lights are, in case you're wondering. Thank you to my guest Jessie Ott again. One of Listen, there are some smart people in the liquor industry, certainly one of the smartest. So she let us know that my job is not worth nothing. We made a cocktail that was recently crowned Best Manhattan of All Time by Jessie Ott. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Remember, these classes will always remain free, but if you can't help out, we have a Patreon, we have a PayPal, we have a Venmo. Those are all linked down here. If you can't help out financially, then tell your friends about the show. The more people we get into the audience, the more fun we have. That's just always how it's been. And if you can't do any of that, remember, we do classes here Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks starting at 6 p.m. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Now watch all of these people that go by. These are the patrons. Oh gosh, I have a whole new thing here. These are the patrons that have helped out the show. But thank you to all of you, and thank you to Jessie. Until next time, what do we always say? The soundboard doesn't work. Bye-bye.